So it may have been a little while. Sorry for being gone for 3 months. I've been pretty busy with a pretty big project that you'll be seeing shortly. But that's a story for another day. But for now, I've got a little showcase of a bunch of random little mods, random little areas, I should say, that I couldn't really make a video about individually, and I also couldn't really lump them in with each other because they had nothing to do with each other, so I'll just kind of go over what I've made. Some of these have been fully complete and I'll be releasing them after this, but most of them were one-offs that I never really finished or never bothered to release because I didn't think that they were that interesting. And for today, I'll be starting off with one that I think a lot of people will find pretty amusing. Ta-da! It's new Lumos But Gay. So the original reason that I had for making this was actually because of a little tech demo I made back when CTR Studio first released an update that allowed you to edit material animations. I decided to take new Lumos and take the background, which usually just kind of glows this orange, and decide to make it rainbow, because why not? And then about a year later, I came back to it and was like, hey, I have a pretty funny idea. And that was to take all the little advertisements that you see on the signs and replace them with gay memorabilia, as one might put it. Not just pride flags, but a bunch of little characters that, a lot of gay people like. I wonder how many of the little icons you guys can recognize. It's a pretty simple mod because, again, it's just a simple material animation replacement along with the texture, which was the hardest part because turns out making line art of all of these characters is a bit of a process. I used a mixture of AI, just normal edge detection algorithms for anybody that knows what those are, and just doing stuff by hand. So it was a little bit of a pain, but honestly, it was really worth it. It was really worth it. Anyways, I think it's time to move on to the next one. So this next stage is just like the battle area. It doesn't have the stage model. The whole idea was that instead of just fighting something, right, you were challenged to a cosmic chess match by some sort of omnipotent being. And the way I made this one was I just kind of stole a high-resolution chess model off of the internet, and then I manually decimated it to be able to fit on Miitopia, and then I added this cool little space texture and space background that I stole from one of the other areas in the game. It was the Darker Lord's Domain. I'm not exactly sure how I came up with this idea. I ended up composing a music track for it, which is what we're listening to right now, but I never ended up really doing much more with it. I didn't really use it in a mod. I didn't really go further because I didn't really think it had much substance to it. I didn't think I could really do much with it. And I think around this time I also was making the Rainbow Factory, and that was a little bit more important. So yeah, that's pretty much just it for this stage. Not too much going on, just a chess match for your soul or something. I'm not exactly sure, I never really developed the idea. But I think the next one is pretty cool, even though it's pretty unfinished. So what you're looking at right now is a late prototype of a stage that I called Labyrinth, or Laboratory Labyrinth. And the whole idea behind this one is that it was this massive complex of layers upon layers of different laboratories with all sorts of different experiments going on, right? And the stage design for each level would, instead of being like how it normally is with a straight line, it would kind of feed back into itself, through loops, as if it was a maze. And part of the challenge of going through each level would be to try and get to the end, which might be a little annoying because you would have to keep fighting the same battles over and over, but I thought it was kind of a cool idea. Anyways, this is just another one that's just a battle arena. There isn't a stage model because, again, didn't go and finish it. I did make a cool little intro that you saw, but unfortunately, I didn't take the time to fully develop this idea by creating a fully fledged model and actually creating a mod for it. I think I just moved on to a different idea that I had. But yeah, that's pretty much just it for this one. But for now, I think I'm just gonna wrap up this little showcase of all these cute little rooms that I made. I mean, I have plenty of them. I certainly have plenty more to show for like a future video if I decide to make this a series, but I think for now, I think I'm done yapping about it. So if you liked it, go ahead and like tell me in the comments or something, but I think I'm just going to leave this one here. Stay tuned for next time when I get to show you that little project I was talking about earlier.